What if I told you that one of the most powerful health transformations you could make tonight costs less than a single penny and takes less than 10 seconds? No supplements, no prescriptions, no complicated routines. Just 1 tablespoon of a golden liquid that has been sitting quietly in your kitchen this whole time. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn might completely change the way you think about your body, your sleep, and your long-term health. Welcome back to BioWell Hub, where we break down the science of wellness so you can make smarter choices every single day. Today, we're diving deep into something that sounds almost too simple to be real. Taking 1 tablespoon of olive oil right before you go to bed at night. And I want to be very clear about something from the start. We are not talking about a trend or a social media fad. We are talking about a practice rooted in thousands of years of Mediterranean tradition, now being confirmed by modern science in ways that are genuinely surprising and, in some cases, permanent. Let's start with what happens the moment olive oil enters your body at night. Olive oil, particularly extra virgin olive oil, is loaded with a compound called oleocanthal. This compound behaves remarkably similar to ibuprofen in the way it interacts with your body's inflammatory pathways. When you consume olive oil at night, your body enters a rest and repair cycle during sleep, and the oleocanthal goes to work inhibiting the enzymes QX1 and QX2, which are the very same enzymes responsible for triggering chronic inflammation. And this is where it gets serious. Chronic inflammation is not just soreness or swelling. It is now widely recognized in medical research as a root driver behind heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, Alzheimer's disease, and accelerated aging. Every single night that you allow this inflammation to go unchecked, you are allowing microscopic damage to accumulate in your tissues, your blood vessels, and your brain. But when you start introducing oleocanthal consistently at night, you begin to interrupt that cycle. Over time, this is not a temporary fix. This is a biological shift that researchers describe as long-lasting changes to inflammatory markers in the body. Now let's talk about your cardiovascular system, because this is where the nightly olive oil habit becomes truly remarkable. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, specifically oleic acid, which makes up roughly 70 to 80% of its fat content. When consumed at night, as your body rests and your metabolism slows, oleic acid gets to work in a very targeted way. It helps to lower LDL cholesterol, the kind that builds up in your arteries, while simultaneously supporting HDL cholesterol levels, the protective kind that helps clear arterial walls. Studies published in journals like the New England Journal of Medicine have shown that individuals who consumed olive oil daily as part of their diet had significantly lower risks of cardiovascular events. What makes nighttime consumption particularly interesting is that your liver, which regulates cholesterol production, is most active during the night hours. By giving it oleic acid right before sleep, you are essentially feeding your liver's repair cycle with exactly the kind of fat it needs to do its job efficiently. But the effects do not stop at your heart. 1 tablespoon of olive oil at night also begins to influence your gut in ways that are both immediate and cumulative. Olive oil stimulates the production of bile acids and activates receptors in your digestive tract that promote healthy gut motility. Over time, consistent nighttime consumption has been linked to reduced risk of constipation, better absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, and a more balanced gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome, the ecosystem of trillions of bacteria living in your intestines, is increasingly understood as central to everything from your immune function to your mental health. When you support it with the polyphenols found in extra virgin olive oil, you are making a long-term investment in how your entire body functions. Here is something most people never consider. The polyphenols in olive oil, compounds like hydroxytyrosol and oleuropein, have been shown in emerging research to cross the blood-brain barrier. This means they can directly interact with brain tissue. Studies focused on neurodegenerative diseases, particularly Alzheimer's, have found that oleocanthal may help clear amyloid beta plaques, which are the protein buildups associated with cognitive decline. When you take olive oil at night and your brain enters its own cleanup cycle during deep sleep, facilitated by the glymphatic system, these polyphenols may be actively supporting that process. This is not a promise of preventing disease, but it is a genuinely exciting intersection of traditional dietary wisdom and cutting-edge neuroscience. Now, let's address blood sugar. If you consume olive oil just before sleeping, particularly if you had a carbohydrate-rich dinner, the healthy fats in olive oil slow gastric emptying. This means your stomach releases its contents into the small intestine more gradually, which leads to a more stable blood sugar response overnight. For people managing insulin sensitivity or prediabetes, this effect alone can be meaningful. Over months of consistent practice, researchers have observed measurable improvements in fasting glucose levels among participants who increased their olive oil intake. One important note: quality matters enormously here. You want cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil with low acidity, ideally stored in a dark glass bottle. Many commercially available olive oils are blended or refined, and they will not deliver the same concentration of polyphenols and oleocanthal. If you are going to do this, do it right. 1 tablespoon, one habit, one night at a time. The changes this practice triggers inside your body are quiet, they are gradual, and for many of them, they are permanent. Your arteries, your brain, your gut, your inflammatory pathways, they all respond, and they respond in your favor. That is everything for today's episode of BioWell Hub. If this opened your eyes to something new, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below telling us whether you have tried this and what you noticed. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video where we bring you the science behind living better, longer, and smarter. We will see you in the next one.